Bhakti movement in India. Bhakti movement in India is an important period in the ancient Indian history. Therefore, the topic has appeared in many examinations over the years. In this essay, we will attempt to summarize important common characteristics or points on Bhakti movement. Now, what is today known as the Bhakti movement had its genesis in South India in the 6th century CE. It is characterized by writings of its poet saints, and many of whom were females, and they extolled a passionate, devotional love for the divine. The Bhakti movement gained momentum from the 12th centuries in the central western regions of India and then moved northwards, coming to an end roughly in the 17th century. This movement accommodated various streams like conservatives as well as radicals, even as social conservatives like Tulsidas, who recognized the Varnashram Dharma, and some radical social groups like Varkaris of Maharashtra, and they included saints like Namdev, Tukaram, Chokamela and others. And then there were Veerashaivas from Karnataka, and they were represented by poets like Basavanna, Akka Mahadevi and Allama Prabhu. And then there was a Radha Swami movement, and it had in it Swami Dayal Singh and Anand Swarup, and they actualized alternative communities based on the perfect equality of caste, class and gender. And there were Brahmins like Ekanath and Jnanadev of Maharashtra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was claimed to belong to Bengal as well as Orissa, and also Sankaradeva of Assam, and they had all de-Brahminized themselves. Now it also included Shudras and Avarnas or Ati Shudras. They recognized the Brahmin hegemony even while pleading for ultimate human equality, like Tunchit Ramanujan Ajutachan of Kerala. Besides, marginalized sections were there like non-Brahmin craftsmen, women and Muslim, who developed a sub-egalitarian vision of new society. One could name, for example, Pambatti, Chithar, that is the snake charmer, Dasimaya, the weaver, Chinnaya, the cobbler. All these saints belong to Karnataka. And then there were Dadu, the cotton carder, Namdev, the tailor from Maharashtra, Chaudaya, the ferryman, Chokamela, the mahar, Gora, the potter, Ravi Das, the tanner, Kabir, the weaver, Tukaram, the peddler. It also included women saints like Karaikal Ammayar, Andal, Janabai, Bahinbai, Gangasati, Lal Ded, Akka Mahadevi, Muktayaka, Mirabai and others. And if we can extend the definition to the Sufis, Muslims like Pir Muhammad, Masan Sahib, Sheikh Farid, Shah Abdul Latif, Bule Shah and Sultan Bohu. There were also Vaishnavites and Shaivites and Shaktiyas among the Bhaktas, and they followed the Nirguna cult and they practiced Tantra. To conclude, some common characteristics which define this movement could be summarized as under. They had a predilection of the pre-Aryan patterns of life, and this thought as implied in the rejection of Brahmin privilege, egalitarian content and the tribal character of collective worship. They emphasized the similarities among different religions and cults, and they found them to be different paths to realize the same goal, and at times even attempted the integration like that exemplified by Sikhism and Sufism. Most of them rejected the Varna Jati system and the Brahmins' claim of being superior by birth. They problematized the intermediary institution of priesthood by directly addressing the Supreme himself. They privileged the oral tradition against the written tradition. As a result, they gave up Sanskrit the language of the elite Brahmins and chose to compose in regional languages and local dialects. Many of them traveled widely and they were multilingual like Kabir, Mirabai, Guru Nanak, Namdev or Vidyapati. Poetry and philosophy coexisted and they supported each other, and the barriers between the physical and the metaphysical grew thinner and thinner in their ascetic spiritual practice. They developed a popular symbolism of their own and they mixed the traditional symbols such as the tree, birds, the sky, river, fire and so on with the symbols chosen from the workplace such as the loom, the wheel, the bellows, or from the kitchen such as the knife, the ladle, fireplace, veil, sindoor and so on. They replaced the supposedly Vedic gods like Indra, Varuna, Mitra, Yama, and mostly with supposedly pre-Aryan deities such as Shiva, Vishnu, Krishna, Shakti or Kali. They created or introduced several new forms of poetry, music, dance like Doha, Pada, Prabandha, Bijaka, Vak, Vachana, Abhanga, Barud, Barhamasa, Kasida, Rasa, that is poetry, Kirtan, Bhajan, Dhun, Nagarasa Kirtana, Krishna Leela, Rama Leela, Tungi, Angikiyartana, Harikatha, Burakatha, that is a group performance, and this gave rise to classical and semi-classical forms like Kathakali, Tullal, Yakshagana, Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi,